Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today we shall be reading together the 21st chapter from the Revelation of Jesus Christ. Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Also there was no more sea. It's interesting to note that there was only land and that there was no more sea. Verse 2, Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 3, And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them, and be their God. Verse 4, And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. Verse 5, Then he who sat on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said to me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Verse 6, And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. The Alpha and the Omega is, of course, Jesus Christ. Verse 7, He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Verse 8, But the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Take note of this verse 8, which I shall repeat again. But the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So, the murderers, all that includes all those who are carrying out child abortions, including parenthood in the United States. Sexually immoral. All forms of sexual immorality should be shunned. That includes fornication, which means having sexual relations before getting married, living with a partner before marriage with the excuse to get to know him or her better. That is a form of sexual immorality. Attraction to a member of same gender, homosexuality, that is another perversion, another form of sexual immorality. Sorcerers, witchcraft, divination, telling the future, those all fall under sorcery. Idolaters, any idolatry, anything that you put first before God. Also Catholics in the Catholic Church, beware of idolatry, worshipping of false idols, like Mary and the so-called saints. They are humans. We do not worship dead humans, we only worship God. And all liars, they shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone. Verse 9, Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls filled with the 7 last plagues came to me and talked with me, saying, Come, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. Verse 11, Having the glory of God, her light was like a most precious stone, like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Verse 12. Also she had a great and high wall with 12 gates, and 12 angels at the gates, and names written on them, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Verse 13. 3 gates on the east, 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, and 3 gates on the west. Verse 14. Now the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and on them were the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he who talked with me had a gold reed, to measure the city, its gates, and its wall. Verse 16. The city is laid out as a square, its length is as great as its breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. Its length, breadth, and height are equal. Verse 17. Then he measured its wall, 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of an angel. Verse 18. The construction of its wall was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like clear glass. Verse 19. The foundations of the wall of the city were adorned with all kinds of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th jacinth, and the 12th amethyst. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each individual gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. But I saw no temple in it, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. Verse 23. The city had no need of the sun or of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God illuminated it. The lamp is its light. Verse 24. And the nations of those who are saved shall walk in its light, and the kings of the earth bring their glory and honor into it. Verse 25. Its gates shall not be shut at all by day, there shall be no night there. Verse 26. But they shall bring the glory and the honor of the nations into it. Verse 27. But there shall by no means enter it anything that defiles or causes an abomination or a lie, but only those who are written in the Lamb's book of life. Brothers and sisters in Christ, I hope this reading through the 21st chapter of the Revelation of Jesus Christ has blessed you. Until we meet again, God bless you all.